Aya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrutyam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Devin Saraswatin Vyasam
Devim Sharatam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya
Bhagavate uttama-śloke
Bhagavate uttama-śloke
Bhaktin Bhavatir Naistiti
Bhaktin Bhavati Vinayati
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopakumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Om Dasa. Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, text number 19. 1, 19, 19. The appearance of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, chapter name. So let us start the sloka. Please repeat behind me. Maharṣayo vai samupāgatā.
Maharṣayo vai samupāgatā.
Praśasya sādhu iti anumodamānāḥ.
Praśasya sādhu anumodamānāḥ.
ūcuḥ prajānugraha-śīla-sārā.
ūcuḥ prajānugraha-śīla-sārā.
Yat uttama-śloka-guṇābhirūpam.
Yad uttama-śloka-guṇābhirūpam.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Maharṣayaḥ,
Maharṣayaḥ,
the great sages.
The
the
great
great
sage.
sages.
Why?
Why?
As a matter of course.
As a matter of course.
Samupāgatā,
Samupāgatā.
Samupāgatā.
assembled there.
Assembled there.
A,
Those
who.
who.
Praśasya,
Praśasya,
by praising.
by praising.
Sādhu,
Sādhu,
quite all right.
quite all right.
Iti,
Thus.
anumodamānāḥ,
anumodamānāḥ,
all approving.
All approving.
Ūcuḥ, said. Prajā-anugraha,
prajā-anugraha,
doing good to the living being.
doing good to the living being.
śīla-sārāḥ,
śīla-sārāḥ,
qualitatively powerful.
qualitatively powerful.
Yat,
Because
uttama-śloka,
uttama-śloka,
one who is praised by selected poems.
one who is praised by selected poems.
guṇa-abhirūpam,
guṇa-abhirūpam,
as beautiful as godly qualities.
as beautiful as godly qualities.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanavinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Please repeat behind me the translation. All the great sages
All the great sages
who were assembled there also praised the decision
praised the decision
of Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
of Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
and they expressed their approval by saying very good. Naturally, the sages are inclined to
The
The sages
sages
are inclined to
do good to common men,
do good
do
to
good to
common,
common men,
for they have
for
for
they
they
have
have
all the qualitative powers
all
all
the
the
qualitative powers
qualities
of the Supreme Lord.
of the Supreme Lord.
Therefore,
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 they were very much pleased
they were
were
very
very
much pleased
pleased
to see Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
to
to
see
see
Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
a devotee of the Lord,
the
a
devotee of
devotee
the
of the
Lord,
Lord,
and they spoke as follows.
and
and
they
they
spoke
spoke
as follows.
Purport: the natural beauty of living being is enhanced by rising up to the platform of devotional service. Mahārāja Parīkṣit was observed in attachment for Lord Krishna. Seeing this, the great sages assembled were very pleased, and they expressed their approval by saying, "Very good." Such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common man. And when they see a personality like Mahārāja Parīkṣit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bounds, and they offer all blessing in their power. The devotional service of the Lord is so auspicious that all demigods and sages up to the Lord himself become pleased with the devotee, and therefore the devotee finds everything auspicious. All inauspicious matters are removed from the path of a progressive devotee. Meeting all the great sages at the time of death was certainly auspicious for Mahārāja Parīkṣit, and thus he was blessed by the so-called curse of a Brahmana's boy. Dasa. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकये चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो मुष्टपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाशाश्च देशतारिणे। Hare Krishna. So today's sloka, it is talking about, yesterday we discussed Mahārāja Parīkṣit. He was sat in the bank of Ganges, and he was informed all the assembled devotees, assembled sages. The sages came to know about all this. The Mahārāja Parīkṣit going to fast until death, and there is going to be a discussion about the Lord Krishna. So all over the universe, the sages are assembled there. So in front of the sages, the Mahārāja Parīkṣit, he gave these obeisances, and he declared that, he informed all the sages, he left the kingdom, he left the family, and he left the material way of life, and he only has the 7 days in his hand to live in this material world, and he wanted to spend the 7 days meaningfully. And then as per their Pandit and other sages' advice, he is going to hear about the pastimes and activities of the Lord, birth and activities of the Lord, so that at the time of death he can remember, and he wanted to go back to Gaudiya. So this is the perfect decision of a devotee of the Lord. And in this material world, there are two things. Always the material world is a duality, like like good and bad, like that, auspicious and inauspicious. So if you are thinking that some marriage function is happening and some puja is happening, that is auspicious. If some death is happening, some accident happened, those things are inauspicious. So inauspicious in the sense, the things which are giving pain to others, and by seeing that somebody getting sad, then we are calling that act as a inauspicious. And the similar way, if somebody is going to die, that is inauspicious. We are calling, in the common people, they will call that as a inauspicious thing. But it is not the same case for Vaishnavas. So why Vaishnavas are not doing that and not taking that as an inauspicious thing? Because death is Vaishnavas aware that death is the time of the examination for a soul who lived. The soul lived so many years in this material world, and how much they practiced the Vaishnava qualities, by how much they practiced the devotional service, how much they understood, and how many devotees they earned from their lifetime. So that will be revealed at the time of death. So the time of death, see here, Parīkṣit Maharaj, since he is a great devotee of the Lord, when he was a king, if you see, when he was a king, only the material people went to his palace and they will ask for some material benefits. But when he left his material attachment, when he catch hold of the spiritual thing, all over the universe, the sages came over there. The sages are not a normal people. They are all the great sages. Maharṣayas. The first word it is saying that maharṣayas. So maharṣayas in the sense they are the great people. So all the great people from all over the world, great devotees of the Lord all over the world, they assembled there. So in this only we can clearly understand that the sages, the great people, they won't anger of material things. They never attached with the material things. They won't come for any material things. And once he left everything, then only all the sages assembled there. And also, what is going to happen? He is going to die. So here he is going to die is supposed to be a inauspicious thing. But all the sages there, they express their approval. They are pleased with this decision. They approved that. They are saying that this is very good. So if the mundane way, if the material way, the outside people, the non-devotees, if you say this act, so how these people are they mad or what? They are one person going to die. They are saying they're very good, and the celestial demigods. It is written in Bhagavatam. The celestial demigods. They're throwing flowers from the heavenly planets to earth. How come? How it is become a auspicious activity? It is an inauspicious thing. So this Bhagavatam they written by some mad people. So the outside non-devotees, they will think in that way. Probably the atheistic people, they will think in that way. These are all just bogus ideas, and whatever the written in that, it is kind of some mentally not good people, because they are glorifying the death. But the Vaishnavas, the great sages, they knows that the death should be glorified. The death should be a glorified. The person may born in different condition. For example, we are not born in a family of great sages and they are great devotees. But still, since because of our past pious activities, some pious in the sense, some sukruti, we are able to have the taste of bhakti in this material life, current life. So this is our duty to not to die the same way how we born. So if how you born as an ignorant person, as a Shudra, if you die as a Shudra or an ignorant person, then that is not a successful life. A successful life and means our birth may be different, our death should be glorious. That is the successful life. Glorious in the sense everybody don't want to say that he gave this so many material opulences, this guy to that guy. There are so many people are there in this material world. Enough people are there in this material world. So showcase that kind of quality to give materially means give help to other people. So many people were there. So we don't want to go into that category. There are so many people are there. But at the time of death, who is going to remember the Lord, and also with the association of devotees, that is the great death. There is a glorified death. There is a glorification. That time, at the time of death, if you are surrounded by the devotees and they are chanting the holy name of the Lord or singing the kirtans of the Lord and discussing about Bhagavatam, that is the glorified great death. And when it will happen, if you lead the life in that way. If we lead the life, the entire life, we leave. It is not necessary only if you leave the material life and become sages, then only everybody will be glorified. We have to contradict, to make the statement wrong. All of our acharyas, most of our acharyas are family persons. Our Srila Prabhupada, who started the ISKCON movement, he himself is a family. He lead a life of a family person. He had a family, big family, and he had a child. After that, he led a normal life like us, and he practiced the devotional activities in his life along with this material life, and he was detached from these material activities. Material life is, even though he was outwardly, if you see, he was doing some mundane work. He was a druggist, actually medical. He was running a medical pharmaceutical company. And if you outwardly, if you see, he's again just a normal person for the people. But after his death, the entire world is glorifying him, because even though he started his life as a small material person, and at the time of death, he did a thing, the entire world glorified him. And at the time of death also, if you see his death, if we have the video in the YouTube, you can see his death also. At the time of, we can't say it's the death, because these are the great acharyas. The great acharya, they led the life to give us a lesson to the common people. So he led the life for us, there is a lesson. So if you see, when he leaving the body, there is a video in the YouTube, it is there. Till the last moment, he was giving the commentary to the translation and the commentary to Bhagavatam purports. He was giving the Bhagavatam class till at the time of leaving this body also. So that is that kind of, and even the doctors are saying that, were saying that it was a miracle, because at the time of death, Vada, Pitta, Kapha, everything, it will come and catch hold of your throat. You can't think about any, the body will be pained. In the Shastras also, the scriptures also, it is said, body will be paining like 10,000 scorpions is biting. It's at a time. How much it will be pain? That much pain will be there. This is said in the Shastras. So if, and doctors also saying that it is not possible to think about anything. There will be so much of problem. Pain will be there inside of the body. All the organs are one by one, it will go off. So this is the death. As per the scientific way, the death, if somebody is going to die naturally, the death will happen in their body. Each and every organ, it will die before 36 hours. So the last 36 hours, it will start one by one. Then finally, the heart will stop. So that heart will stop in the sense, the soul will leave the heart and it will go out of the body. So that is the final stage. So that is the reason the heart is stopping at the end. So when there is a person coming into this material world, the first thing it will develop in the womb of a mother is the heart. Yes, the soul is sitting in the heart. So that it will develop and it will start the first action. The heart will beat. The fetus who is in the womb, the heart will beat first. And the last of that, when they were along with their life, entire life, the heart will beat continuously. It is beating because the soul is there in the heart. So it is beating continuously. And at the time of death, at the last thing, it is the soul is leaving the body. That time the heart will stop. So that is the last time. So from that time to the stop time, that is we are calling as the lifetime. In our lifetime, if you are doing the pious activities, not only pious activities, because as we said, as we discussed, to do the pious activities, there are so many people are there. There are some rich people are there. There are some cine actors are there. They are doing a lot of pious activities to the society. So the doing the pious activity, that will be helpful only this material world to make their life comfortable in this material world. But after understanding these shastras and the scriptures, we can understand that. So this is not necessary, or we should not make we ready to spend our time to make our life comfortable in this material world, because our time is very limited in this material world. So we need to spend most of our time, useful time, to understand the Lord and to become a devotee of the Lord, great devotee of the Lord. So like Srila Prabhupada, he was, even though he was practicing, he was a householder, having children, wife, children, everything, and still he was practicing the bhakti along with that. And after the age of 50, he started the vanaprastha life. Then 60, at the age of 60, he took the sannyasa. So everything he did, whatever the scriptural way he lived his life, and he showed us how a person can live in this material world, how he can do that. And he set a target. Okay, if a single person turned desire to do service to the Lord, how God will help the devotee, and also how we can leave this body till this, leave this body at the time of death. So everything demonstrated. He lived a life, it is an open book. His life is open book. So we have a 7 volume of Prabhupada Leela-amrita. If you see, he is an open book. All his entire life, from birth to his last leaving the body, all these things are there in this book. If you read that book, we can understand that how we a great devotee lived in this material world. So how we should live. So we can't imitate the great souls like Prabhupada and all, because he is a best soul actually. He was a Acharya. So we can't imitate, but we can desire that at least we can follow what he said. So if we follow what he said, automatically we will also be into the same way. So how it is, Krishna also saying in Bhagavad Gita 3.21, Yat yat acharati shreshtas tat tat eva taro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastas anuvartate. In 3.21 Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So Krishna was telling to Arjuna, so the great man, whatever he has to perform, the common man will follow that. That's why whatever the standard he was set by exemplary act in the sense, it is just not like a politician. He will speak everything. Okay, we should flourish like that. We should not do bribe and all those things. And once we go to his office, go to his home, he will do all the nonsense activities. This is not the way. The exemplary way in the sense how Prabhupada lived a life. He was even the householder, how a householder can live. So he showed that to the world. And also how you can become a devotee, how you can spend your life meaningfully. So everything exemplary way he acted. So inspired by that only, see, when Prabhupada left this material world, there are 108 temples he made in his lifetime. One single person, he started the movement, ISKCON movement, all over the world he roamed, and 108 temples he made. Today, even after the 50 years the Acharya left in the material world, today we have more than 600 temples. Temples are there, and there are many centers, outposts. There are many things are there to discuss about what the Acharya did, to discuss about what Acharya told in his purpose. So, and there are lakhs of people are following what he said. So that means that is the exemplary way he set for us. So we also, since we are all the common people, like Krishna said, since he did an exemplary way, that's the reason lakhs of people we are following him, because he set the exemplary. So in this material world, if you see, devotees are always the minority. So we can't say that in India the other religions are minority. It is not like that. Who are all the Krishna consciousness, they are minorities, and all over the world they will be minorities. Any point of time they will be minorities only. That is never going to be a majority. So the minority people, who are all the chosen people by the Lord, we should lead our life in the exemplary way. So by seeing us, because now itself, our family itself, we are seeing as a different creature. They are not eating non-vegetarian, they are not eating onion, garlic. The morning they are waking up and they are chanting. 4:30 they are waking up and they are chanting the holy name of the Lord. They are going to the temple, and they are doing the kirtan. They are doing worshipping the Lord. So this is this kind of act. It is not the entire world is doing. Very limited, very small group of people only doing this material world. So we are also knowingly or unknowingly, indirectly, we are also example for the other people, at least for our family members. So we should be cautious whatever the act we are doing. We should be lead our life. We need to show them the exemplary way. We should not act in the way so that they should not think that, okay, this is also like me, he is also like me. The other person should not think in that way. So the way, whatever we are living, it should be exemplary way. How Prabhupada lived his life in the exemplary way, he showed to the world, this is the way a person can live. Yeah, even though it is not necessary to leave everything and go to Himalayas and practice and to become a sage. It is not necessary. A person, he can become a sannyasi when he is leading a material life, he is leading a grahastha life, there itself we can sannyasi. Sannyasi in the sense it is not, okay, we need to leave everything. It's not right. Even though you are provided with everything, you need to be detached from the comfortable material comfort. So that is sannyasi. So the outside people, they are one of the person, when Prabhupada went to America, one of the press reporter, he asked the question. See, you are saying that you are a sannyasi, you don't have the material attachment, you are not, you are attached with the spirituality, but you are roaming in a Rolls Royce cars, because when he was Prabhupada in America, one of the devotees, they provided him a great comfort, because because we wanted to keep the acharyas treat the acharyas like a god. So we guard, because that's the Shastra is saying that the Shastra is saying the acharyas need to be the guru need to be treated like next to the god, because he is the via medium of the god. Through him only we can realize the god, we can go back to Godhead. So they treated the American people, when Prabhupada was in America, they treated Prabhupada like a god only. All the comfort. Initially, he was not having the comfort, but later they provided the great comfort to Srila Prabhupada. He gave to use the roadside cars. By seeing the roadside car means it is a pride thing for Americans. So you are saying that you are a sādhv, you don't have any material attachment, but you are roaming in the roadside cars. Then Prabhupada told. So American people, my disciples, they understood how to treat a sādhv. So how to treat a sādhv, how to see the devotional person. So that's why they are treating. So even though I am just using these Rolls Royce cars to come from the airport to temple. After that, I will forget that. I don't know. Even if you make me walk, I am also ready to walk. If you take me in the cycle also, I am ready to walk, ready to go. But since these people understand the Shastras, the Sadhu need to be treated like a god. So what is the great comfort, topmost comfort they are giving to me? But I am not affected by this comfort. Oh, I got this comfort, I need to enjoy that. I don't have that, because my work is this is Lord's order. I supposed to came here, I need to spread the knowledge. That's the reason I came over here. Whatever the medium you are taking me, I don't have any problem. You took me, you gave me the Rolls Royce cars, I'm okay. When I go to India, during his time, when I go to India, some villages used to go through by walk or by bullock cart. So that time also he's not affected. He's enjoying that also. Not enjoying. He was not affected with, okay, I was treated in the roadside cars in America. In India, I'm treating like by walk or by going by a bullock cart. He never thought like that. He took that. This is just a medium. I'm using this communication or transportation channels. I'm going there. That's all. So he's treating the Rolls Royce cars and the bullet cart. He was treating the Rolls Royce cars and the bullet cart as only the transportation thing. That's all. But if you're the common people, the outward the non-devotees, they will think that, okay, they will see the difference. Okay, see here, bullock cart, he is going on the bullock cart. There he is getting the road size. He wanted to enjoy. So that is the way the common people will think. So the way Prabhupada lived as an exemplary way, as a sage, he lived a life as a sage. And as I said, we are the very minority, and already we are practicing some of the things which is not common in all over the world. The Krishna consciousness practice is a very rare thing in this material world. Not even 1% of the society is not practicing. So it is very, very rare thing we are practicing. So do it. Anyway, we have started practicing that. Why should not we do that in a firm way, proper way? If you do it in the proper way, the result also will be in the extraordinary way. We will get the extraordinary way. So the only thing from this sloka, today's sloka, we can understand is the sages and the demigods and even the Supreme Lord Krishna, all are happy if you take the path of devotional service. So it is not necessary to leave this material touch life and go to only take the spiritual life. You need to add the spirituality in your life. So by that, we can be an exemplary to the society, and we can we can make our life successful in the sense, when you are going to leave this body, we should be surrounded by devotees. Some kirtan should be there. Some Bhagavatam class should be there. So that is auspicious. So for outside people, that is inauspicious. But for us, that is the auspicious thing. How it is auspicious? When we chant the holy name of the Lord, Lord will appear there. Wherever the place Lord is there, that place always it is a transcendental place. It is auspicious. Is out of three modes. So that is very, very auspicious. So even though the mundane people, the death is the inauspicious, our death should be auspicious by chanting the holy name of the Lord or hearing the Bhagavatam like Parīkṣit Maharaj. So we need to aspire for the life, we need to desire for that, and we need to work for that and live a life in an exemplary way as Parīkṣit Maharaj and as other sages in our parampara and our acharyas. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.